Hello, Internet. I am Torma Ximnus, and I bring you much news from the RWBY, Chibi, and Nomad of Nowhere panels from RTX Austin 2018. This video is way late in coming out. I've been waylaid by a combination of work, preparing for the new school semester, and feeling kind of under the weather due to probably a combination of allergies and definitely something to do with the forest fires that were going on in California and how the smoke was going across a number of states. Mine was one of the ones in the path. Fortunately, not long after I started being affected by all that, stuff was closed up, AC was turned on, I was able to feel better. But I still had the other stuff I had to take care of. Regardless, I'm here now, so let's get to it. First off, let's start off with the RWBY merch stuff, and oh boy, there's a lot. The first thing is that there's a lot of new clothing, apparently, scattered between Forever 21, Hot Topic, RWBY-themed socks at GameStop, and FYE. And FYE is also, I don't know if they're doing it now or if they're going to start doing it soon, but apparently now they are selling dust crystal rock candy, and they have them in fire, lightning, ice, and wind variants. I'm not entirely sure what the wind crystals are supposed to be. I'm guessing that the fire dust crystals are going to be cinnamon with, like, you know, a little bit of kick to them, kind of like hot tamales, but a different flavor. And I'm guessing that the lightning dust crystals are going to be lemon flavored. They could be pineapple flavored. I don't know, just some kind of yellow fruit. And the water dust crystal candy, I don't have any idea for that either. But yeah, there they are. You can get them at FYE either now or sometime in the near future. I might try them out at some point. I haven't really decided yet. But the fact that they've got dust crystal themed stuff, aside from just, you know, ornamentation pieces like earrings or necklaces, I think that's kind of cool. And moving right on to the next bit of new merch news. Wave 3 for the pop figurines is coming out. They will be available in the fall. And from what we see here, it's all of them having their weapons out. I don't know what waves 1 and 2 looked like, but we see that Ruby Rose has her crescent rose in its scythe form. Weissney has Mertinaster point down on the ground. Blake has her weapon out. I forget what it's called. Feel kind of bad for that. And Yang Xiaolong is taking her punching pose with Ember Silica fully activated. So, yeah, nice. And then in addition to those, there are metallic variants. So this, when I was trying to think of this earlier, I was thinking maybe there's like a copper or a gold tint to these. No, it's just that there are metallic variants, and the reason why I was thinking something like metallic colored was specifically because Jean's hair, which is usually this spiky blonde, looks gold in his metallic variant, which personally I really enjoy. So I'm definitely looking forward to these coming out. And it says that Team Juniper is available now, and it says that retailer exclusives are coming soon. So no idea when the retailer exclusives are going to be coming out, but I get the feeling that it's going to be, you can only get specific ones at specific retailers, and that is going to, of course, mean you're going to have to hunt around for some of the different ones that you want. Either way, looking forward to them coming out. I think I want to get the Jean one. I just like the look of that golden hair. It's shiny. I like shiny. Alright, and on to the next. This is, of course, more RWBY pop figurines, and these are the mystery figures, and they are the Volume 4 design. And as you can see, they're going to be retailer exclusive variants. Again, it lists Hot Topic and GameStop. Oh, that's for Crow Bronwyn and Raven Bronwyn for those retailer exclusive variants, which means that there could be other retailer exclusive variants for specific figures that I just don't see in these pictures. I don't know. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, it's for the metallic variants. Jean and Pyrrha are going to be at FYE, and Nora and Ren are going to be at BAM? What's BAM? I'm going to have to look that up later, just to know what it is and have an idea of what I'm looking at here. All right, so anyway, on to more story-related RWBY news. Now that we have the merchandise bit out of the way, there is going to be a new book coming out in the summer of next year, and it is going to focus on Team Coffee. Now, I don't know if it's going to focus on just volumes 4 and 5, or if it's going to also stretch into volume 6 as well. But I do know that their story is going to run parallel with Team RWBY and Team Juniper, as well as Ozpin and Crow, and that it is going to show basically what they do after the fall of Beacon. They decided that they wanted to finish their training, and they also decide that they don't want anyone to have to be lost in the same way as happened at the fall of Beacon ever again. So they resolve to go to Shade Academy. They go out there, and from what I remember hearing at the panel, this is going to be a thing where they are facing some of the kinds of conflicts and difficulties that each of them were dealing with earlier in their own lives. So this is going to simultaneously serve as a news story for Team Coffee that runs parallel to RWBY and Juniper, as well as exposition on their past. So it's kind of like their future mirrors their past, and in order to move forward, they have to get beyond both of them. So I personally am very interested in seeing where that goes. It kind of sucks that it's like a year away, but, you know, I'm willing to wait to see what happens. I'm pretty sure it's going to be worth the wait, and that it is going to be all kinds of interesting. And speaking of Team Coffee, when I was watching episode 15 of RWBY Chibi at the RWBY Chibi panel during RTX at RTX Austin 2018, at the end of the video, there was this little snippet that showed the lower half of Coco Adele walking forward, and I immediately recognized that, and my immediate thought was, yes, Coco is going to be brought into RWBY Chibi, which probably also means that Fox and Yatsuhashi are also going to be brought in at some point, probably. And of course, we already saw Velvet with the antics that she was getting up to, with being pulled out of a hat by Jean, randomly showing up when everyone was getting together for a movie night and arguing over what movie to see, making fun of Professor Port's mustache and weapon and mannerisms at the beginning of season 3 of RWBY Chibi, which was so entertaining. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Speaking of RWBY Chibi, there wasn't really all that much that was mentioned at the panel that seemed noteworthy. One thing that was brought up was someone suggesting the possibility of releasing the RWBY Chibi soundtracks, and someone immediately countered with, well, most of them are only 10 seconds long anyway. Speaking of music stuff, RWBY is apparently going to have 3 songs in the new Rock Band game. I believe it's called Rock Band Rivals or something like that. They had a booth in the exhibition hall where you could play Rock Band Rivals, and you could play the song that's currently on there. I believe it was the opening theme for Season 1, This Will Be the Day. And I thought about checking that out, but unfortunately, I ended up not doing that because of how busy I was with other things. So, I don't know if I'm going to get the game or not, just for those songs. I do remember enjoying Rock Band in the past, so it's something I might get into. Anyway, I think that's about it for RWBY Chibi. Like I said, not a whole lot. But, yeah, interesting stuff. And speaking of RWBY music and RWBY in video games, there are going to be some RWBY Grim Eclipse updates. And, oh, man, there's a whole lot. I actually had to write some of this down when I was reviewing one of the videos that got uploaded to YouTube. So let's see, new RWBY Grim Eclipse content. There is going to be a new campaign mode, which means a whole new story mode, which is great. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, whether it is an entirely new mission or a continuation of having defeated, what was his name? Dr. Merlot, and then what happens after that. So, yeah, that's cool. And a new campaign mode means new horde maps, because, of course, there are going to be new areas to go through. And I am looking forward to that as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of maps are brought out and how they're based off of the new levels. And in addition to a new campaign mode, there is going to be a new game mode, which I know nothing about right now, but I'm looking forward to that just as much. And when the new content comes out, there are also going to be new pajama skins and new Volume 4 outfits. So that means, yes, more costumes for our characters and more customization for how we want the different teams to look, depending on what we think each character looks best in when we are getting together with our mates to squad up for some gameplay. New pajama skins, new Volume 4 outfits. Very nice. Oh, and the good news is, if you already have RWBY Grim Eclipse, when this new content comes out, then it is going to be a free update, which I think might mean free DLC, but I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm just going to have to wait and see, but guaranteed when the new content comes out, I am going to be covering the new content for RWBY Grim Eclipse on my channel, so look forward to that. And let's see. Oh, yes. And then, of course, there's the big stuff for RWBY Volume 6 that I haven't gone over yet. RWBY Volume 6 is going to premiere in theaters on October 25th, just a couple of days before it airs online for Rooster Teeth First members. And it is going to cover Chapter 1 with exclusive bonus content. And I don't know if that bonus content is going to be something that's only shown in the theaters, or if it's going to be something that goes over the rest of the season that everyone else will get to see eventually. That's another thing I'll have to wait and see on. And if it's only something that's in theaters, then I'm definitely going to want to have that committed to memory as best I can, because I will want to cover that as well in my RWBY Volume 6 Chapter 1 reaction video. So, yes, it's only a couple more months away. I am very happy for that. I'm really looking forward to what happens next and how they're going to go from having gotten the relic to getting over to Atlas. And of course, Weiss returning to Atlas means that she might have to face her father and brother again, and that is going to be a very interesting exchange, particularly given the fact that one of her teammates is a Faunus, which they're very heavily going to disapprove of. And they're going to disapprove of their leader being a kid who acts like a kid. What do you expect? She's only 16. And also the fact that her older sister, who is also on the team, is brash and aggressive. Although from what we've seen in RWBY Volume 5, it seems like Yang is finally getting some of that temper under control. And that's pretty cool. Anywho, so that covers all the RWBY stuff. Moving on to Nomad of Nowhere. Nomad of Nowhere is coming out on November 17th, which means I have a very busy weekend. I'm going to be uploading this video today. I'm going to be recording my reaction video for the Adam Taurus character short tomorrow. And if that gets released to the world tomorrow, then I'll also be uploading it the same day. If not, then I'm going to be waiting until next week. And then Nomad of Nowhere coming out on Saturday. I will, of course, be recording that. And I still have the RWBY Amity Arena stuff that I've got to take care of, so I'm hoping to get that out to you guys starting next week. And that is going to include an interview with one of the people working on the game. His name is Kyung Kim, and I'm looking forward to sharing the answers that he gave to my questions and thoughts with you guys when I get that out. Back to Nomad of Nowhere stuff. For this one, apparently from what they said on the panel, Nomad of Nowhere is going to be upping the ante. There's going to be more serious moments. There's going to be one episode in particular where things get fairly emotional, and I don't know if that means that something is going to happen to Scout in a way that's Don Paragon's fault. That causes a conflict of conscience for Toth because she's got this huge honor code, but Don Paragon is clearly a dick and a half and needs to be set to the wayside, but her own personal honor code won't let her do that. So I'm kind of hoping that by the end of Season 1, she will see that there's really no redeeming quality to continue serving Don Paragon, and that things would be better off if she and her guys just left. But there's no way of knowing if that's going to happen or not. I do look forward to seeing what does happen, though. In the trailer that they showed for the Nomad of Nowhere panel, they did show the Nomad having a dream. I don't know if it was a fever dream or just some weird thing that's potentially nightmare fuel or some other thing. But I do know that when he wakes up, we see the eye of El Rey on the wall behind him, painted on there. So, yeah, that's pretty ominous looking. I don't know if that means if the Nomad is going somewhere in that territory area that is controlled by El Rey and his 4 generals, or if that's just like the Old West equivalent of graffiti on the wall. But I will be very interested to see what happens. Anywho, that'll do for this video. As always, if you enjoyed watching, please be sure to like and leave a comment, subscribe for more, ring that notification bell so that you can join the notification squad and know anytime I upload a new video, which will be as soon as the next 2 days. And until next time, this is Torma Ximnus signing off. Stay frosty, my friends.